Today's topic is introspection, and let's first listen to what Master had to say from Whispers from Eternity about removing this ignorance that exists within us. This is a prayer demand for removing the cork of ignorance. No more shall my consciousness remain bottled in this little vessel of flesh filled with ignorance. No more will I remain moving through the sea of cosmic consciousness, night and day, years, decades, and how many incarnations. So close, yet never able to contact thy sea. Through the bursting vibrations of cosmic sound and the surging of thy holy name, I have removed the cork of ignorance, which so long separated me from thee. Though we lived together so closely, now my body consciousness will meet thy all-surrounding, all-pervading consciousness. No longer will I walk heedlessly in thee, but never knowing and feeling thee. Thine image within me shall meet thine image everywhere. By releasing this I-ness in me, I will know that I am thou, and that thou alone art the little egos in all of us. So, today's topic is a difficult topic in one way, but if you understand what I'm going to say, it'll really help you in understanding the process of introspection and knowing what we really are. We have read of these things, heard so many times, but why is it that most of us are not able to experience this I, capital I within us? Why is it that after listening to so many satsangs, after doing so many prayers and doing sadhana, why isn't this I part of our reality? So we'll try and understand. And first I'll start off with a story from life of Guru Nanak. Now, Guru Nanak with his disciples, that is Bhai Mardana and Bala, was in the area of Multan and in one of those Udasis. And he reached a place which was totally barren. It was part of the kingdom of a king. And that place was totally barren and nothing used to grow there. So people ignored that area. And Guru Nanak went and started staying in that place for a month or two. And by his mere presence there, that vegetation started to grow and that place started to change. And this was informed to the Raja. So Raja came to know, and he came to know that there is some high soul who is there, and I need to go and pay my respects and take his blessings. So the Raja went there and bowed down at his feet. He took, the way we do, took diamonds and jewelry as his respect to the great soul he thought he was meeting. And he says, this is my obeisance to you. So Guru Nanak said, Mainu o de jehda tera hai. These diamonds are not yours. You will die, this will go to your son, or some other king will invade, and these things are gone. Give me what is yours. So this king thinks, okay, this guy does not want these things. Everyone is asking for that. Okay, so that means he's a little bit spiritual. So he says, okay, I will give you one of my sons who will come and do seva with you. He says, मैं तेनू पहला ही क्या, ये मुंडा तेरा थोड़ना है. Give me what is yours. And he is again thinking, my son, whom I cherish so much, I am giving at his service and he is not wanting it. And he starts thinking more and comes down to things which are very close to him. And finally, once Guru Nanak is not accepting anything, he says, I offer myself, मैं तुहानू अपने अरदास देना है तुहाडे कोल, I am giving myself at your feet. That is the time Guru Nanak said, ए जेड़ा मैं है, ए मैनू दे दे. And in that instant, that मैं is lifted from that Raja, and tears start flowing in his eyes, and he realizes what it is all about, and he bows down at his feet. And when his tears are falling at the feet of Guru Nanak, that is the time he says, Hunut, and hun jaake Raja giri kar. And he says, what are you talking? Now that you have told me what I am, and you are telling me to go and become the Raja. He says, now and only now will you be able to do what you are meant to do, because the मैं is removed. And that मैं, where it is in us, how it is there in us, we will try and understand this through something written in Vedanta by Adi Shankaracharya called Drigdrishya Viveka. If you get a time to read it, it's a very good thought process in which we can try and understand where and what this I is within us. So we are going to do an exercise which 3 things are very important in this. First is, what I'm going to say, listen to it carefully. Second, understand it very carefully. And third and most importantly, experience it within your own consciousness. Understood? Very 3 simple things. Okay. Now first question is, what am I? Who am I? Anyone? We've been reading, talking, all these things. What are we? When you ask this question, who am I? What answer has come to you? Hanji?
Energy.
Good.
I'm a child of the Most High God.
Hmm?
I'm a child of
Okay, good.
the Most High God.
Good. Have we felt this, being child of this God? Is it your experience right now? What we'll try and understand is the whole process and what are the problems associated with this. So, what, like all of you were saying, I am energy, I am child of this God, someone else would say something else. What it is already, it is called in Drigdrishya Viveka Antakarana Vritti. Antakarana Vritti means all these sense definitions of what I am that exists within us. That is what we think. I am a male, I am a disciple of Yogananda, I sit for so many hours of meditation, I feel that prana move within me, I. And these are all sense of what I think, I am this, I am this, I am this. These are all vrittis. But we are not, what Adi Shankaracharya says, we are not Antakarana Vritti, we are Antakarana Vritti Sakshi. We are the witness to whatever sense definitions which we have put around ourselves. Whatever we think, I am this, I am this, I am experiencing this, the one who is observing all this is me. Difficult to understand? Okay. Now let's try and do it in our experience. First principle, and the only principle to be kept in mind, and which is very simple, no-brainer, is the seer and the seen, the drishtra and the drishya are different. Simple. If I am seeing this, I am different. You all are seeing this, whispers from eternity. You realize that you are different. So this is the principle we were going to follow, that the seer and the seen are 2 different entities. Very simple. Okay. Now let's start off with what we are seeing. If you look towards this, whispers from eternity, I am also looking at it. We realize that this book is different from our eyes. Our eyes are the ones that are seeing. So we are taking our awareness backwards. So this book is different from my eyes. But my eyes are seeing many objects. Why at this time this object is only seen? And there are many objects, that means there are many objects, but the seer is one. Seen are many, seer is one. The sunlight is lighting up all things, or this light is lighting up all things. The light is reflecting out of everything, but my eyes are, if they are looking towards this side, they are seeing this. So therefore, in one way I can see, my eyes are the one that are lighting up an object. Everything is lit up, but I am looking towards it. So therefore, first thing I have realized is, the eyes are the seer and seen is, say for example, this book. So am I the eyes? Am I the eyes which is looking at all these things? Let's do the next experiment. Keep on looking towards anything, whichever thing, say for example, you're looking towards this. And now in your experience, close your eyes and open your eyes. Close your eyes and open your eyes. What do you realize?
You can even see it with closed eyes.
No, you can't see it, but yes. But there is something within you which is aware that now my eyes are open and now my eyes are closed. Now my eyes are open, now my eyes are closed. So there is something within me which is beyond this eye, which is telling me that I am there even when the eyes are closed and even when the eyes are open. To this extent, now I cannot see this clearly, therefore I need glasses. So you go to the doctor and put glasses. There is something within us which is telling that I am not seeing. So therefore the eyes are not the seer. Now I realize, okay, there is something within me which is possibly the brain, which is aware that the eyes are open and now the eyes are closed. Similarly for all five senses. I am listening to something and I am not, now there is no one talking. Similarly touching, taste, all those five senses. So therefore I come to the conclusion that the brain is the seer and the sense organs are the seen. Understood? We are working backwards. Outside, sense organs, now I am come to the brain. So am I the brain? Am I the mind? Ask this question to yourself. Why? Because the one thought that is coming in my mind, now my eyes are open, now my eyes are closed, that is also being observed. An average human being thinks around 16,000 thoughts a day. And out of those 16,000 thoughts, most are crap. Had it not been so, we would have been geniuses. But those thoughts are there. But there are times when you are aware there is no thought. Isn't it? I am thinking of this camera and now I stop thinking. So I realize that I am aware. Dono time I am aware. I am aware that the thought is there and I am also aware there is no thought. Then what am I? Am I this thing which is observing the thoughts or the absence of thoughts? So what we have started going is inwards, from outer object to the sense organs to the brain and now to the thoughts, and then now we have even gone beyond the thoughts and we are trying to experience that we are the observer of the thoughts itself. So now what Adi Shankaracharya says is, in your experience, that what we have seen earlier, we think that we are in this body, a lot of people think, but then you realize that when you are in your deep sleep, are you aware of the body? But when you wake up, you realize I had a good sleep today. Or if the sleep is not deep, you wake up and you realize, aaj neend achhi nahi aayi, I had a very fitful sleep. But you were aware of both the things. So therefore, you were not even the thoughts. So what he is trying to say is, now the human brain, the way it functions, understanding, consciousness, is till the time everything was being objectified, it was fine. Outside object, eyes, they are different. Seen and seer different. Okay, understood, they are different. Thought, brain and eyes different, two different, understood. Okay, now thought, absence of thought, that is also a little difficult to understand, but understand. Okay, I am with thought, without thought. And then you say, oh re, itna santa, this is I. This is where you go wrong. What Adi Shankaracharya is saying is that the pure subject can never be objectified. The things that we could objectify outside in eyes, brain, thought, our brain is getting the grasp of it. The moment it says, okay, the presence or absence of thoughts, what is observing that is me. I said, acha, kahan par hai? Where is it in my brain? Oh, is it here? Is it in the heart? Is it there? No. The pure subject can never be objectified. This is a very strong vritti of a human being. We want to objectify everything. Whenever we hear about anything, whenever we see anything, we want to experience it within ourselves. And that objectifying tendency is the biggest block. He said, these three aspects keep in mind. You should never You cannot objectify this I within yourself. You must not objectify it, and you should not objectify it. Why? Then you will say, कि today's talk we started, and we started by saying, कि who am I? And now this guy is saying, कि you should not, you must not. What is this dichotomy? This is what introspection is all about. When Ramana Maharishi told everyone, he used to say this question, who am I? Ask this question. Did he ask anyone, okay, after you have found it out, write 15-page essay on what am I and come to me? Has any one of these saints that I know who I am? Why? Because if this light is there, does this bulb know what is light? You have become it. Remember this. This I within us, this introspection where we are leading to, you become it. You do not objectify it, it is located here. When you have reached that place, you become it. Because that is the light of lights. Jyotirmay Jyoti. That is what it is written in Vedanta. If we now start working from the opposite end, what Adi Shankaracharya said is, as you are doing this introspection, outer object, eyes, brain, thought, and then the absence of thought, when you try and merge with that thing, all of us in our experience, we have done meditation, we will come to a place when they will start feeling peace, calmness, a total stillness. The one who is observing this stillness is you. It is without any prejudice, without any judgment, it just is observing. Because our awareness as of now is not there, it is in the thoughts, it is in the objects that we start thinking, इसने मेरे को बुरा कहा, इसने मेरे को अच्छा कहा. This person is jealous, this person is very magnanimous. And we become aware of our ego and we start operating from that. So the whole path of self-realization is actually not changing yourself that way. You have to understand the entity, the vritti within me which is judging is not me. I am the one who's observing. I am the one who's observing, okay, Naveen is thinking Kailash ji is very brilliant. Okay, Naveen is thinking that Naveen himself is a duffer. But hota kya hai, what happens is I start thinking that, oh, I am duffer, he is intelligent. And therefore, the feeling comes with it. The feeling is the one that is catching us in this Maya. If from the other ends, that Jyotirmay Jyoti that was spoken of, you start coming and you will realize how we are caught in this Maya. That consciousness that is within all of us is observing. And from that observing, it lights. It is the energy or whatever word you want to use. It lights up a particular thought in our brain. What did Master say about thoughts? No thought is ours. Infinite thoughts exist in this universe and our magnetism catches hold of a thought. How is that happening now? Understand. There were infinite thoughts. In a day, 16,000 thoughts. Which thought comes to us at what time is where this light lights up a particular thought. That thought becomes our thought of that moment. That thought then goes and lights up a memory in our brain. That memory is associated, oh, Kailash is intelligent. Oh, Praveen is super fit. And I start equating it to that. You understand what is happening? We are not judging, but what is being lit up. Now from that comes, it goes to my sense organs. Sense organs look, confirm and come back to me. And that is how, what Master said, that we are not free. We are slave to our tendencies because the vritti that is lit up in this lighting up is deciding what is our thoughts are going to be, what our reaction is going to be. Now, if I learn to go into that state and from there observe, and observe myself first and observe others, there is no judgment. There is no judgment. If I see someone outside who I am not known is fighting with some other person, do you feel bad or good about it? Two people are arguing. You don't even know, you don't even take sides. But the moment it is me, you start doing that. And that is exactly how we are being caught. You understand what is happening. Dissociate. Stop judging yourself. Do not give energy to what my personality is. Yes, Naveen has likes and dislikes. In spiritual path, we come and we start thinking, oh, I have to be perfect. Yogananda ji was like this. He did not sleep, hardly ever slept. He hardly ever ate food. So therefore, this great vritti in my mind thinks, a self-realized person does not sleep. A self-realized person does not eat. He does not get angry. He does not ever judge anyone. And then what happens? I sit, and यार मैं तो अभी भी judge कर रहा हूँ. मैं तो ये भी कर रहा हूँ. I am sleeping 6 hours, I am sleeping 8 hours. I eat food. I will never find God. You see, we have become our own enemies. Naveen is what he is. Observe without judgment, like in this reading which Bharatji was doing. That is what we have to learn. Detach from your own personality, and the moment you detach, that feeling element starts becoming weaker, and finally it becomes irrelevant. And therefore you are able to observe everything the way it is and not the way you want it to be or don't want it to be. And this is what happens in these states. When Swami Vivekananda, he was going through a lot of financial issues. Earlier he was from a well-to-do family when his father died, and he came to know that Ramakrishna Paramahans talks to Divine Mother, Ma Kali, and he had seen it in front of himself happening, in tears and in contact with Mother. And he said, I think so only he can help me. So he approaches Ramakrishna Paramahans and says, speak to Divine Mother and tell her that I need some finances to look after my family. So Ramakrishna keeps quiet. Next day he comes to him and says, speak to him. He says, why don't you speak to her? He says, I can't speak to her. I'm not aware of how to do it. So he touches him on his forehead and he says, tonight when you will meditate, Divine Mother will come to you. So Swami Vivekananda, that time not Swami, and goes and meditates in the night, and Divine Mother comes to him. And in that splendor of the Divine Mother, he goes into ecstasy. And he's in tears, bliss. And he comes out of it in the morning, and then he realizes, oh, money has not come. So he goes back to Ramakrishna Paramahans and says, oh, nothing happened. He says, Divine Mother came to you. Yes, she came. She was beautiful, such bliss, amazing. He says, why didn't you ask her? Oh, I forgot it at that time. Tonight, ask her again. He goes back, same night, meditation, Divine Mother comes. He again goes into ecstasy. And he never asks. 3 days have passed. And then Swami Vivekananda understands. He says, when you become one with I, there is nothing to ask. There is nothing to give. It is only bliss. And that is what we are all seeking. So he is hoping that bliss comes to us and we learn how to introspect and detach ourselves from our very personality, which we think which we are. The moment you learn how to detach, the life will change. And the best way to experience it with introspection is Kriya Yoga. When the magnetism of that internal spine, that Sushumna, becomes so strong that it is more powerful than the pull of the outside world, going within becomes very easy. And then watching things from that place, that it's not a place, from that consciousness, you are able to see the reality of this world.